Hey guys, today is Wednesday. I'm gonna call it Wisdom Wednesday. I didn't do a video yesterday, which I would have called Tuesday Tips because I was doing 6 hours in a row of online sessions, so I felt pretty tired at the end of the day. Today I want to talk about stress. So what I find about stress is that everybody's always telling us to lower our stress and not be so stressed, but then they don't really tell us how. So a couple months ago, I read a book by Emily Nagoski called Come As You Are. So it's actually a book about women's sexuality, but she had such great sections in this book on stress. So what she talks about is that we have to complete the cycle of stress. So say we feel stress with work and then we do a big presentation and it's over, but we often still feel stress. So she talks about completing the cycle and really letting the stress out of our body. In the past, stressors were more acute. So again, if we go back to the lion that I love to talk about, but if we're being chased by a lion, we might run, we might turn around and kill it, and we've completed the cycle. So the stress is actually done. So today, stress is lower intensity, but a longer duration. So she talks about chronic stressors. And the problem is we don't ever end the cycle. So then that stress sits in our body and in our society makes people sick. Quite honestly, we have lots of anxiety and depression, things like maybe migraines, irritable bowel syndrome, lots of chronic conditions that really have been linked to stress. So, and then the other part of this is that we live in a very emotion-phobic society, right? So we suck at talking about feelings, and frankly, most of us avoid it like the plague. So then again, we've got a lot of the feels inside us, as Emily calls it, the feels, that never get released. And we talk about just either shutting those feelings down or relaxing. So the other part of it is we feel almost this social pressure to not talk about feelings, right? Because we don't want to freak people out or we don't want to upset people. So there's all these components of stress. So getting on to the good part is Emily talks about how to complete that cycle. So the first way is exercise. And I know it's obnoxious if you don't like to exercise, but honestly, there's just so much research about exercise and stress and anxiety and depression. So when you're running and that lion is chasing you, well, maybe you could run after that stressful work meeting. Maybe you could dance. Maybe you could walk. Maybe you could punch a punching bag, but you're just completing the cycle. So you're letting some of that energy out, that stress out. So exercise is number one. Number two is sleep. So again, it's that thing that everybody talks about, but if you can Google sleep hygiene and start to work on your sleep, always important. Number three is a good one, affection. So sharing affection with someone, having a belly-to-belly hug, not just one of these awkward little hugs that, again, our emotion-phobic society is so good at, but literally holding someone. So it can be partner, it could be a child, but it's that close touch, physical affection. So the next one is crying or screaming. So again, finish that cycle, let it out. Where is the stress? Where are the feelings? I don't know about you guys, but I've probably been crying every second day during this really stressful time. And I know it's coming and I feel the tension in my body. Then you let out the tears and usually I feel a little better. So a nice hard cry, or if you're someone who wants to primally scream, scream, punch your pillows and scream. So that's number four. Number five is meditation and breathing. Again, so much research on breathing, slowing it down, long, slow breaths, to sit and to try and bring some of that calm back to your nervous system. Again, ending the cycle of that chronic stress. The final one I actually love, and Emily talks about body grooming, so self-care. And I do find for women that comes up again and again, right? Like, look at these nails. I love painting my nails. It's so mindful. It's so calm. It's something I've been doing since I was a teenager. For some women, it's practicing makeup. I have a good friend who's been doing makeup videos. Any kind of self-grooming, and maybe that can even fall into bathing, something like that, but it can just warm people's hearts, make them feel social, and feel really good. So when you're thinking about stress and that chronic stress, remember that if you don't let it out, you've got a dot, dot, dot. Okay, if you work on some of these things, crying, moving your body, like dancing, running, some of the grooming and some of that affection with somebody, you're putting a period on it. Good luck.